Just trying to get my stuff to work on Twitch. There we go. Now we're managing stuff. There we go. And we are going to start things off right away with our first match of the night. Donkey Kong versus Bowser Jr. versus EnCWrestling in the heavyweight division. All of the heavyweight matches here tonight have all include people who have not competed in a match so far in the singles division. Some of them performed very well, some of them not so well in the tag team division, but not yet in the singles division. These guys today are all fighting their very first match in the heavyweight division. We have a couple more matches for the heavyweight division, along with a bunch of lightweight and middleweight division matches, and then 2 tag team division matches. Remember, Key to Victory at the end of May, the very last Sunday in May, which, if I do a little fact checking right now, is the 31st of May. 3 Sundays from now. That seems like a really long time from now, but we'll get there. 3 Sundays from now will be Key to Victory, the May pay-per-view on the EnCWrestling promotion. We will be having the finals of the first couple matches of the tag team division. All of these tag team division matches that are happening right now in the month of May, leading up until right now, are all really important to see who is worthy of that initial championship opportunity. Today's tag team matches are Samus and Zero Suit Samus versus Sheik and Zelda, and then Link and Toon Link, who are in a faction alongside Young Link not fighting tonight, against Roy, and Chrome. Other matches for tonight include some people that aren't doing very well right now when it comes to points, and that's something we're going to be talking about tonight, is our point system going forward. Bowser Jr. already eliminated. So during these matches today, I'm going to be kind of explaining what's been going on behind the scenes, and everybody that is fighting tonight does not have a top 10 ranking. So what these matches are essentially doing tonight is taking people and giving them a better standing so that we can start to get a little bit more competitive. EnCWrestling getting the first win of the night against Donkey Kong and Bowser Jr. Gonna quick get down their points if my pencil will work. EnCWrestling getting a big 3 points. Bowser Jr. only going down 1, and Donkey Kong going down 2. And remember, these are all very first matches for these people in the singles division, so that big win and a +3 score is really going to bump EnCWrestling up the ranks right now. The next match is going to be in the lightweight division. Yoshi, Pikachu, and Villager. Mewtwo will be in the next one. And what happened before today in the interim matches was everybody that currently has 0 points in the overall score in the lightweight division. There were 14 of them. They went head to head. The first 2 eliminated in 7-man action was taken out of today's matches. So it is 2 people that have zeros in the overall score, and then one person that has lower than zero. Again, just trying to get people some more competitive feel, and getting some people in the top 10 rankings. Um, Speaking of top 10 rankings, right now I'm going to go into um, a little bit of the behind the scenes stuff that I've been kind of teasing wanting to do on Instagram Live, um, but haven't really gotten the opportunity or the time to do that yet. Um, One thing that I have done in the past week is created a system of very complex number based stuff, taking all of the points, which is the 2 points for a victory, 1 point for a sudden death loss, or 0 points for a loss, taking those points, um, those points, along with the plus or minus score. So, like just now, Incineroar uh, took out 4 people and was only taken out once, so his score is a +3. Versus Donkey Kong only taking out one person but getting taken out all 3 times, now has a score of -2. Um, those scores factored in with the point system, and then their win-loss records, so their wins minus their losses, are all added together to get an overall score. Just an example or two on how that works. King K. Rool, who is the heavyweight champion, um, has 4 wins and 1 loss. So his win-loss record is a +3. He has no sudden deaths losses, but his plus or minus score is a +3, and his point total, because he has 4 wins, 4 times 2 is 8. His final overall score is a 14. He does have the highest amount of points um, in the heavyweight division, with Yoshi now picking up a win. Villager down 1, Mewtwo at 0, and Yoshi up 1. Yeah, King K. Rool is not ranked. His rank is champion, and then second in the rankings is Snake with 9 overall points. Going on to our next match, it is Mewtwo, and then Ness and Olimar. Mewtwo was in the last one. Pikachu should have been in the last one. So we're going to stick Pikachu in this one. Oopsies. And switch around those points. Pikachu versus Ness is definitely a very different, but also kind of very, very different matchup, but kind of the same when it comes to projectiles with their lightning range attacks. Olimar kind of being the odd man out, but when is he not the odd man out, I would say. Um, for some reason, my dashboard does not let me see who is here. So if you are here, I see some people are here. If you can just shout yourself out in the chat, and just give us your overall thoughts, any questions you have. On standings, what's coming next. I'm going to be getting into more of that stuff, but if you were to ask questions, then that would give me the seamless transition into talking about that stuff. Almar actually doing very well with all 3 stocks, Pikachu and Ness down to 2 stocks. So, going back to the standings, we still have Iggy as our middleweight champion and Mr. Game & Watch as our lightweight division champion, and then King K. Rool in the heavyweight division. The lightweight division has the most ranked players at 9, and then heavyweight and middleweight tied with 8. We do not have a full top 10 ranked yet because there's really no reason to give a ranking to somebody with 0 or negative overall a 0 or negative overall score just because they're the next in line. So going by division, since we are in the lightweight division, I will start with the lightweight division. Mr. Game & Watch, the champion, has 10 points. Larry, who is the number 1 contender at the moment, has 5 points. Jigglypuff with 3. Sonic with 3. Young Link with 2 points. Pichu and Lucas with 1 point apiece. And then Yoshi, Ness, and Dark Pit with 0. The reason I put zeros in is because after today, we will definitely have some contenders out of those people with zeros. Pikachu taking the loss. Olimar and Ness both down to 1 stock, but Ness with 100%. It's not going to take a whole lot for Olimar to take him out, but he has to hit Ness in order to get the percentage that he needs, which is not something that Olimar, I have found, is very talented at. Ness is very much an evasive character, if this match is anything to go by. That's a pretty big hit. Ness at almost 200% could potentially be out in the next punch or so. And there it is. Almar picking up a victory over Ness and Pikachu. Getting a +1, Almar did. Pichu getting a -1, or Pikachu getting a -1, sorry, and Ness getting 0. Moving on to our first middleweight division match, which is Luigi versus Ludwig. While this match is going on, I can explain a little bit about something that was asked last week, which is how do I decide who's getting what, who's fighting who, and who's getting the shots about with matches and championship matches and all that stuff. The reason these two are fighting is because in the middleweight division we are taking people who have not really gotten a chance to fight very much, a chance to fight in singles matches. Some of these guys fought in tag team matches last week. Tag team matches do not count for overall points in the singles division, but they obviously factor into tag team standings. Luigi and Ludwig are fighting because it's 2 Mario-based characters, and I figured that it's always kind of fun, kind of like having Dark Pit and Pit fight last week. It's kind of fun to just kind of have a inner faction or inner rivalry matchup when you're able to, kind of like Daisy, Rosalina, and Palutena all going up against each other later, um, with a kind of a random match of Greninja versus Joker, because, you know, it's a match that had to happen basically with how everything turned out after forming matches like this one. One thing that I am actually very much excited about is that I have started working on getting content through Streamlabs going, which at that point it would give me a little bit more incentive to bring better content, I guess, by instead of having the screen like this, I can have a camera, a capture card, bringing the image to Streamlabs, and then with Streamlabs, they work through Twitch and YouTube, so I don't have to download these videos off of Twitch in the hopes of uploading them again on YouTube, which is something that I have done. I have created a EnCW YouTube channel and EnCW Gmail account, so or Google account. So what's going to be happening there is I'm going to be able to have a little more creativity with the content that I'm putting out, hopefully. The next match is a tag team match, and it is one that we talked about earlier, Link and Toon Link versus Roy and Chrome. Roy and Roy. And here we go, our first of 2 tag team matches for tonight. So while this one is going on, I'm going to run through the standings in the middleweight division, since some of these guys are in the middleweight division. We have Iggy the champion with 12 points, Zelda and Corin both with 10 points, female Wii Fit Trainer with 5, Falco and Hero both with 4, male Wii Fit Trainer with 3, Lucario and Marth also with 3 points apiece. So, what will probably be happening is over the course of the weeks leading up to a pay-per-view, the competitors are going to be fighting in matches, and depending on the standings, will either give somebody a match or will give me an incentive to say, okay, this person isn't really deserving a match the week before, because we have like if Zelda and Corin stay at 10 points apiece, they would have to fight the week before the pay-per-view to decide who would be going up against Iggy for the championship. There could also be other matches to kind of decide or give other people more points to bump them up in the standings, like male Wii Fit Trainer Lucario and Marth all have 3 points, so we could potentially see a match between the 3 of them at a pay-per-view, because that's a pretty big matchup. If somebody loses but gets a lot of points, then they would potentially be bumping up higher than the person who actually got the victory. That's why I think that all of these points and scores are actually really interesting and give a lot of character to um, Ethernet community wrestling instead of just having win-loss records. So as I said before, YouTube channel is up, Google account is up. Have the Twitch stream here. Have a Streamlabs going through EnCWrestling. The Instagram page is still in the works. I'm going crazy trying to get that thing going because it's something that I've been wanting to have happen since I started the live streams. Everybody down to one stock right now. Croy, Chrome, and Croy, each have a pretty high percentage comparably to TuneLink and Link's 12%. Never mind, Link accidentally killed himself. So, good. TuneLink all by himself now against Roy and Chrome after Link kind of screwed him over a little bit by taking himself out. Let's see if TuneLink can take out a heavyweight and a middleweight as a lightweight. Doesn't look good for TuneLink, but it looks a little better now with Roy out. This is a lightweight versus heavyweight, with the lightweight taking out a middleweight and a heavyweight all by himself because TuneLink accidentally took himself out. TuneLink is gonna have a pretty high. Never mind. I thought that was gonna be pretty high, but it's not. TuneLink with only a +1 there. Chrome with 4 knockouts and 3 falls only gets 1. And Roy goes down 2. And Link's at 0. Going back to singles matches, we have a heavyweight 3-way. Heavyweight triple threat, I should say, between Dark Samus, Ryu, and Bayonetta. I see we have one person watching at the moment, which is like, woohoo! If that person could shout themselves out in the chat so we can have a conversation. Any questions, concerned, interest, wondering where your favorite competitors are in the standings, I can tell you that as well. With about halfway through the card so far on this United Through Wrestling May the 14th. Apologies for the silence for that 5 seconds of awkwardness. Just debating if I should leave you in more silence to go use the restroom, which is unfortunate at this very moment. Everybody has 3 stocks. We got 3.5 minutes left. I'm gonna leave you guys here for a minute, unfortunately, and go use the restroom. So enjoy the match. Hi, welcome back to myself. Um, I don't know if you heard that terrible joke, but I'm not going to repeat it. Just kind of looking at myself in the video, and I'm kind of shining a little bit on my one side, which is interesting. This show feels a little more relaxed from last week, which is definitely a good thing. Um, Comparably, last week was kind of a train wreck. I feel like this week, with everything, the setup and everything going a lot better, I can be a little bit more positive about it. Bayonetta, unfortunately, getting taken out already. During the next match, I will go through the standings for the heavyweight division because I have not done that yet and did not have time to do it while this match was going on. So we are going to just watch Dark Samus win and move on from there. All right, going down to the lightweight division, we have Dark Pit, Ice Climbers, and Duck Hunt. Okay, and while that match is going on, I'm going to go through the standings for the heavyweight division. At the top of the list, we have King K. Rool, the champion, with 11. Number one contender currently is Snake with 9 points. King DDD, the former champion, with 7 points. Ganondorf tied with King DDD, 7 points. Byleth with 6 points. Mega Man with 4 points. Banjo and Kazooie with 3 points. Roy, Mario, the Bowser Jr. Roy, is at 2 points. And Dr. Mario is at 2 points. That little weird Mario thing that I threw in there. There's 2 Roys that I have. One in the heavyweight division, which is the Roy who is one of the Bowser Jr. skins, and Roy from Fire Emblem. Sorry, was distracted by the fighting, which is ironic. No, Roy from Fire Emblem, who is in the middleweight division. So all on all of my paperwork and documents and everything, I have a M in brackets next to Roy in the heavyweight division, and an FE in brackets next to the Roy in the middleweight division, so that I do not confuse myself every time I try to figure out who is who. Just looking a little bit at the Twitch live stream manager. Just kind of screwing around a little bit on there while this match is going on. Everybody except for, well, Duck Hunt and Dark Pit, both at 1 life, and Ice Climbers could potentially be going down to stock pretty close, pretty soon. Ice Climber taking out one of Duck Hunt's friends. See if they can all get back to the platform. Looks like Ice Climbers might be able to squeak out a 2-stock victory, depending on. Nope, I was just about to say, depending on if he can, if they can survive long enough. Ice Climbers looking pretty good right now with Duck Hunt gone and Dark Pit with 0 stock. Going on now to the, staying in the lightweight division, we have Kirby, Sheik, and Isabel up next. Now, my main when I play is Kirby, and I have had people make fun of me quite a bit for that. Just because not a whole lot of people play as Kirby. I'm quite good with Kirby. Kirby as a computer is not great. It doesn't exactly utilize its Kirby's best quality, which is the down special, I think. Yeah, for Kirby, Sheik, and Isabel, Kirby has a 2-0 record currently, with Isabel having a 1-0 record, or 0-1 record, and Sheik having an 0-1 record. Let's see if which one of them gets to go up a little bit in the standings here, if they can get a win and a couple points out of it. Sheik survived a little bit longer off of that last hit. Isabel currently with the most stocks. And Kirby using the down special effectively. Isabel being saved by acid and then being taken out. Everybody down to 2 stocks. Now, since there are still 2 more Thursdays until May 31st, Sheik down to 1 stock, there's going to be plenty of time to get through the matches necessary to decide who is going to be getting the number 1 contender shots. The point system that I have deciding who gets the number 1 contendership takes out the idea of having people getting rematches for their championships. So King DDD, if Sunday was the pay-per-view, King DDD, the former champion, would not be getting his rematch because he is second in the rankings behind Snake. Snake would be then getting the number 1 contendership. King DDD probably facing Ganondorf in a match, since they are both tied with 7 points apiece. They would probably face off to decide who would be going past the other in the standings. And if Snake were to lose, he would most definitely, because of the DDD versus Ganondorf match, would most definitely be getting would be losing his number 1 contender shot if he lost. Isabel picking up the win there against Sheik and Kirby, getting a positive 2. A lot of zeros happening today, which is kind of surprising, but unfortunately also does not help at all in the standings. It actually hurts people very much to have zeros, much less negatives in their records. Going on now to the middleweight division, we have Greninja versus Joker. Oops. After this, we're going to be having 2 all-female matches, a triple threat between Daisy, Rosalina, and Palutena, and then the second tag team division match, which is Samus and Zero Suit Samus versus Sheik and Zelda. That second pairing, the tag team division pairing, was just kind of a fun matchup that I decided to put together because those 2 tag teams are essentially the same person in 2 different outfits with 2 different weight divisions represented. Samus is a heavyweight, Zelda is a middleweight, Sheik and Zero Suit Samus are both lightweights. Joker is already down a stock to Greninja with 50% in his first stock. We have not seen a sudden death victory yet today. Haven't seen a whole lot of them since I bumped up the time to 5 minutes. Not anything that I regret doing by any means, but is something that I would like to see a little bit more. But unfortunately, that's just how it works. Yeah, Dark Pit, Pichu, and Lucina are the only ones so far that have sudden death losses. Um, both guys getting hit pretty hard, but because of the walls, not really getting knocked out. Greninja at 205%. Dang. Joker finally taking out Greninja for that first stop. Joker at 134% isn't looking very good for him, as he is pretty close to being knocked out for his second stock. And there he goes. Joker down to one stock. Greninja with 35% on his second stock, doing pretty well so far, but can't seem to touch Joker at all on that stock. That's pretty surprising. So blank slate for Joker after getting his butt kicked essentially for two stocks, giving it back to Greninja pretty hard with Greninja's two stocks. Both guys working very well at the side walls. This could be over very quickly, especially if Joker can get in one or two hits, which he can't. And with that, Joker, after a very competitive match, is taken out by Greninja. Now on to Daisy, Rosalina, and Palutena, triple threat in the middleweight division. There is not going to be a women's division strictly because being male or female in the Smash Bros. Game does not exactly affect the fighting ability of the computers or the fighters in general in this game. Plus, it would be a pretty small division. Anyways, so yeah, I didn't find it very necessary to have a women's division, but starting in June, or maybe I'm potentially thinking of pushing it back to July, is going to be the open weight division, just so that we can take a little bit more time to get people in the other four weight divisions, middleweight through or lightweight through heavyweight, and then the tag team division, giving those people a chance to get a feel for those divisions before starting up the open weight division. This is definitely one of the more intense looking Pokemon game levels. Rosalina taking out Daisy. Daisy on her last stock. Palutena still with all three stocks, and Rosalina with two. Rosalina now down to one stock. Palutena seems to be doing pretty well so far. Let's see if she can keep it up. Down to two stock now. If she can pull out a victory still with 2 stocks, she could potentially pick up a lot of points in the plus or minus ranks. Rosalina knocking herself out, I don't know if that's going to count towards either Daisy or Palutena's plus or minus records. Daisy taking a lot of damage right now. Needs to answer back. And can't really seem to. There. Big hit. Could potentially be getting taken out in the next couple blows. And there she goes. Daisy eliminated by Palutena, who is going to clean up on the plus or minus rankings. Palutena with 2. Daisy with -2. And Rosalina with a -1. Going on to the tag team division again, we have aforementioned Samus and Zero Suit Samus versus Zelda and Sheik. And let's get this match underway. I'm very much interested in this match to see which female team does well and could potentially be seeing a triple threat tag team match between Zelda, Sheik, Samus, Zero Suit Samus, and then add in Peach and Daisy and Rosalina in whatever capacity that ends up being. Because remember, in a faction, Rosalina, Peach, and Daisy are a group. And that would definitely be a match that I would be interested in seeing. Seeing these women be competitive, especially against each other, is very fun to watch and interesting to see. So, but I don't want to only have female versus female matches, especially in the tag team division, which is why I like having Isabel and Villager as a group, as a pair, because that definitely helps out in that capacity. Martha and Lucina, a mixed tag team, Pitt and Palutena, another mixed tag team, male and female We Fit trainers. Dark Samus and Ridley. And I feel like a fake fan a little bit. Is Dark Samus a woman? I would assume that Dark Samus, being a Samus character, is a female, but knowing very little about Samus, only knowing to the extent that Dark Samus is bad. That is the extent that I know. And besides Fox and Falco last week, this is the first group of mixed division uh, matches with Fox and Falco fighting last week. Um, Sheik and Zelda picking up the win there. Let's see what the plus or minus scores were. Zelda with a +1, Sheik with a +2, Samus with a -2, that's shocking, and Zero Suit Samus with a -1. And the computer just kind of shut down there for a second, so that's exciting. Going back to singles, going to be having Rob, Piranha Plant, and Richard. There it is. Now remember, the people fighting in the heavyweight division today are all people who have not had a opportunity to fight yet for the singles division. Everybody in this match having their very first match, depending on how well they can do in their plus or minus records, getting a loss, like I said earlier, could still boost their overall score. Richard taking the first fall, Rob picking up the first KO. I thought I had taken out all of the moving stages when eliminating arenas from the randomized arena selection, but clearly I forgot one. Or two, probably. Probably more than one that I missed. Trying to get my dashboard up and running after a couple minutes of not exactly having reliable internet. This stage is no joke. Only been 2 minutes, and it seems like a lot longer. This match could potentially go to sudden death because of the movement aspect of the stage. Definitely gives a lot more, takes a lot more time to take people out, and gives people more of an escape route when if this was just a non-moving stage, there isn't really a place to go past, left and right. Everybody down to one stock with 2 minutes left. I don't see, with there only being 2 minutes and everybody at one stock, I don't see this match going to sudden death, but it's definitely one of the longer ones that we've had today and in the entire EnCW, in the entire promotion so far. Piranha Plant was just eliminated. And Richer, because of the moving stage, is eliminated. Rob taking the win in his first match so far with a +3. Piranha Plant with a -2, and Richer with a -1. We have about 5 minutes left, and 3 more matches that I had scheduled. We'll probably not get through all 3, but potentially get through the first 2 and see how much time we have left, if we can get through the last one. This one is back to the middleweight division, or lightweight division. Yes. With Fox, Diddy Kong, if I can find him, and Inkling. The issue that I was having there was that Fox, I thought, was a lightweight when I was writing down tag team groups, even though, or thought he was a middleweight. So when I was putting him together with Falco, I said, "Oh, perfect! This is 2 middleweights that will go up against another middleweight or a lightweight group," and then realized later Fox is a lightweight and Falco is a middleweight. So that was unintentionally my first mixed weight division match. I do see Inkling doing pretty well in the lightweight division because she seems to have a pretty hard punch, especially when she has her paint thing filled. I almost wanted to call it a battery for a second because it does kind of look like a battery. Um, but yeah, this level definitely saving some stocks for Diddy Kong and Inkling so far. Let's see if Fox and Diddy Kong can get Inkling out for her first stock. This match is definitely a little bit more relaxed compared to that last one. A little less frantic and a little more dodgy. Inkling being taken out for first stock. Fox pretty high in percentage on his second stock. Diddy Kong getting up there. Inkling doing pretty well with her second stock so far. This music is kind of soothing, like the very low tone, or not tone, but like um, beat of it and everything is just kind of soothing compared to all of the more intense music. And Fox getting taken out. Fox down to 1 stock. Diddy Kong and Inkling both with 2 stocks. Diddy Kong down to 1 stock. Inkling the only one left with 2 stocks. Inkling seems to be doing pretty well so far, especially now that Diddy Kong took out Fox. Inkling down to her last stock against Diddy Kong. These two at pretty close as close as you could get, considering where they were at a couple seconds ago. The music getting faster now, which is not what I thought was going to happen. Um, being able to see the screen 3 different ways, um, on the TV, being recorded on my phone, and then being broadcast on my computer. So that's a little interesting to be able to see. But yeah, definitely hoping to get a lot of work done in the following weeks, or in the following week. Every weekend in May uh, is pretty busy, which is a little crazy to think about during this current situation, but am pretty blessed to be getting some halfway decent work. Diddy Kong being given a loss there, but picking up 2 points, which is huge. Fox, unfortunately, with a -3 and a loss, is not going to do very well for his standings. Going on to, we're already over an hour, but I have 2 matches left, and instead of just doing them off screen, I'm just going to stick around and get through them. The next match is, if I can find him, Little Mac versus Pitt and Lemmy. The final match after this one is going to be in the middleweight division. It's going to be Robin, Shulk, and Cloud. You guys can't see anything from the screen here. If my visual is anything to go by, and I apologize for that. Definitely a little difficult to see. So let's. That doesn't seem to have helped too much, but that is kind of all I can do currently for that, other than like turning off the lights completely. So I apologize for that one. The sketch one and probably the Mr. Game and Watch one will most likely be getting taken out of the randomization, just because of the difficult visual effect for it. Yeah, so definitely gonna have to do some more commentary on this one, considering it is kind of difficult to see. Lemmy is at a very high very high percentage. Now he's out. Everybody with 2 stocks: Pitt with 71%, Little Mac with 40, Lemmy with only 14. Pitt taking a heavy hit, and a KO punch from Little Mac. Pitt on his last stock, Lemmy and Little Mac with 2 still. Pitt with pretty consistent hits so far. Hopefully he can hold out long enough for the other two to go down a stock or two. Pitt taking out Little Mac, that's going to help him with his plus or minus record. If he doesn't get the win, Little Mac with some pretty good punches. Lemmy with a very high percentage. Well, not very high, but comparatively high percentage right now with the Pac-Mans coming out. Kind of screwing Pitt a little bit on that. Lemmy, everybody is down to one stock, and Little Mac took himself out. Let's see what Pitt is able to do. See if he can win this one. And he can't pull it out. Lemmy takes the victory, which I know is going to make some people very happy. Lemmy with 2 points. Pitt with a -1. And Little Mac also with a -1. And the final match today, Robin, Shulk, and Cloud in the middleweight division, closing out the show. And if I can find Pitt. As we get through this final match, I'm going to kind of close out my, give my final thoughts, close out the episode, give you some couple ideas of what's going to be happening coming up soon in the next couple weeks or so. All of the matches today, very, very important for the standings, for win-loss records, plus or minus scores, all going into the overall score spreadsheet that I created. Everybody today putting on pretty fun, entertaining matches. Shulk going down a stock so far with Cloud and Robin both with 2. Pretty happy with the content that's going out, especially today after last week having a lot of issues with Twitch. Definitely a step up from last week today. Robin staying in there with his 3 stocks and now going down to 2. Everybody at 2 stocks. Don't forget, next Thursday, 6 o'clock, EnCW presenting United Through Wrestling every Thursday. And then the following Thursday, the 21st and 28th. And then the 31st, which is Sunday, we have Key to Victory. The very first tag team champions will be crowned. The lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight championships are going to be being defended. A couple more high-profile matches, like I said, King Deity versus Ganondorf for potentially the #1 contenders placement, and then possibly 1 or 2 stipulation matches. Definitely looking into how to give that pro wrestling feel now that the UFC feel, the very competitive feel, is now prominent with the overall scoring, with everything else being calculated, being put together. Shulk being eliminated with Robin with 2 stock and Cloud with 1. Let's see if Robin can. Robin with pretty good score so far. Let's see how many knockouts he had. Yep, Robin getting a +2 with Cloud not taking any points, and Shulk with a -2. And with that, I will say thank you for watching, being a part of this. Go find EnCWrestling on all major stuff: Twitch, YouTube, Sorry, I was looking at myself. That was terrible. What the face I just made at you guys, I apologize for that. Yikes. Um, one of the one of the setbacks is seeing yourself live, but a couple seconds behind on the dashboard. But anyways, um, find ENC Wrestling anywhere, Instagram, hopefully again in the next week, Twitch, YouTube, going to be doing Streamlabs, um, hopefully soon. Uh, UTW every Thursday at 6, and Key to Victory on May 31st. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.